The overweight, copper-haired nurse waddled into the waiting room. "Mr. McMurray?" she asked. Paul McMurray tossed aside the copy of Sports Illustrated and hopped off the light green vinyl couch. He was 27 years old, with straight, flaxen hair and a tan. His athletic good looks were just starting to slide, and his Trailblazers t-shirt didn't quite camouflage a slight beer belly. In fact, he hadn't been in the waiting room very long before he'd left and returned, smuggling in a six-pack of Budweiser and some cigars. He'd slyly pulled a beer from the grocery bag and offered it to another expectant father, who had shown up just a few minutes after him. The guy said, "No, thanks." And that was it. Didn't say another word the whole time, and they'd been in the waiting room for over 2 hours. But now the man was standing up along with Paul McMurray. The nurse looked confused for a moment, her eyes darting back and forth between the two of them. "Mr. McMurray?" "Yeah," Paul said anxiously. "I'm McMurray. That's me." The nurse broke into a smile. "Congratulations. You're the father of a healthy 8-pound, 2-ounce baby boy." "All right," he yelled, shoving a fist in the air. "You can see him in the newborn room in just a few minutes, and the mother's doing fine. She's resting, but you can see her in a little while." Paul McMurray had another beer, then went to the window outside the newborn room. He waited, his nose fogging the glass. In his hand, he clutched the cigars. He gave one to the man standing beside him, the other expectant dad. He was a tall, well-built man with light brown hair. He looked like the country club type, handsome and well-dressed. He had on a green sports shirt with some designer logo on the breast pocket. "Congratulate me," Paul grinned. "I'm a daddy. Got myself a little boy. How about that, huh?" The stranger gave him a limp smile. "Congratulations," he murmured, tucking the cigar in the breast pocket of his sports shirt. "Thanks for the smoke." He turned back toward the window, a sad look on his face. "This is my first kid," Paul said. "My name's Paul McMurray." "Jack Spaulding," the man said, shaking his hand, but he still didn't smile. He glanced back at the infants. Paul wondered if the guy's trip to the hospital had started much earlier today. He looked so goddamn gloomy. Maybe there were complications with the birth. Maybe his kid had already been born, perhaps born dead or deformed. "Is, your baby in there?" he asked.